Alright, this is Kerbal Space Program. And it's such an awesome game, but I haven't played it in a long time. So I'm going to go ahead and start a new game. In fact, let me see something. I thought I just adjusted this. Settings for the audio. Turn that down a little. I hope that's good. Yeah, let's go ahead and start a new game. Start new. Hold on. Yeah, start new. This will be Mateo career. Because there's 3 different settings. We've got sandbox. Everything is present, all parts, everything. You can do whatever you want. Science is just where you focus on researching and getting new parts that way. But then the career is you have to manage everything. And it can be unforgiving. I actually destroyed the one of the buildings because the rocket fell back as it had jettisoned several meters or up in the air. It came back and destroyed one of the buildings, and I had to pretty much stop the game at that point because I did not have the money to repair it. And so we're going to go career difficulty options. As you can see, we have indestructible facilities. You can turn that on, but I'm going to leave it off. Let's see, reverting flights. Oh, I wonder if we can change this later on. I don't know. I don't want stock vessels. We can adjust all this too, like the starting funds and the re-entry heating effects, the amount of rewards we get through all these different areas. I'm just going to leave that alone. And let's see, is that good? Yeah. And we'll keep the Kerbal flag the way it is. And go ahead and start. Okay, Gene Kerman's just telling us about the Space Center. I already know how to do it, so see over here. Well, out here is the launch pad, and we have the vehicle assembly building. This is where we do most of our assembly for various aircraft. Not really aircraft, more like spacecraft, I should say, because over here is the space plane hangar. That's where you do all of the aircraft and space planes. I forget what this is. This is where we hire our Kerbals. Right now we have these 4, and we can hire more should we need them. You can see the next hire is at 65,000. Not enough funds. Okay, yeah. I was just checking that out. And then let's see what else we have. This is the science and technology area. This is where we spend our science points. We start with these available parts. Like the parachute, the basic fin for our rockets, command pod, which can house 1 Kerbal, fuel boosters, mystery goo, that's for capturing science, and then we also have these girders. And then as we move along up the tech tree, you can see how big the tech tree is, but we don't have any science right now. We have 0. Once we get, let's see, it's 5 science, we can unlock this tree or this tree. So, first thing to do, well, let me just show you here. Can we go in here? Yes. Welcome to the tracking station. This is Kerbin, right? Planet Kerbin. Information. Kerbin, yes. A unique world. Kerbin has flat plains, soaring mountains, and wide blue oceans. Home to the Kerbals, it has just the right conditions to support a vast, seemingly undepletable population of the eager green creatures. What's this? Oh, these are just statistics, like mass and gravity and all that kind of stuff. Sphere of influence. It's pretty neat. What is this? I've never seen this before. Resources. No resource data available. You will need to perform an orbital survey first. So this is new to me. The game has already released, and I think they're still working on it. They're still adding things to the game, but it has reached 1.0. It's actually beyond 1.0, but it's been released, and a lot of things that weren't there before are now in the game. Because I've been following this game since like Alpha 16, or 0.16, I think it was. So there were several updates before this final release. So see, out here we have the moon, or Mun as some people call it. And the Mun is a large satellite orbiting Kerbin. It is mostly gray in appearance, with craters of various sizes dotting its otherwise smooth surface. And you can see it's got all kinds of craters on it. It's really neat. And let's see, if we zoom out a little further, you can see Minmus. That's Kerbin's other moon. It's a little further out. Minmus is the smallest moon orbiting Kerbin. From the surface of Kerbin, it can be seen on clear days as a tiny blue speck in the sky. So we'll get to that, but if you want, I'll zoom out here. And let's focus back on Kerbin, and then zoom out. And you can see where Kerbin lies in the orbital plane for the sun. Oh, they're not calling this the sun. It used to be called... Was it... Well, I forgot what it was called. It was... Kerbal... I forget. They changed it to the sun, or sun, so... But out here we have the first planet is Moho. Second planet is Eve. Third is Kerbin. Fourth is Drace. No, fourth is Duna, which is similar to Mars. If we zoom in here, it also has its own satellite, and you can see it's got polar ice caps on both the north and south poles. It does have an atmosphere, but it's very thin, just like Mars, I think. And we have Jewel, which is a gas planet and has several moons of its own in different orbits. You can see Jewel right here. And these are all the other moons around Jewel. And then finally, we have Elu, excuse me. I have only been to Eve, Minmus, the moon, and Duna. I had a really hard time getting to Moho. I never got there. And I haven't been beyond Duna. So a lot of people have been all the way out to Elu and places around Jewel. There's a moon out there that actually has... It's like an ocean world with some land masses where you can actually land, and it's got a breathable atmosphere and all that, just like Kerbin does. So, alright, let's go back to Kerbin. And this will show us, like you can see up here, it'll show the debris, probes, rovers, landers, ships, stations, bases, EVAs, flags, space objects, unknown, I'm not really sure. I think that's like asteroids maybe, once we discover where they are. But right now, this is unusable for us. It just serves as information. Let's go back and we'll go ahead and go to the vehicle assembly building. Oh, I forgot something. Let's go back out of here. That's how we make money and gain science and all that. Welcome to Mission Control. Please make a selection. So we can have a maximum of 2 contracts at any given time. I don't know if that changes. So here, if we click on this, they want us to give a quick crew report before launching. It's fine if any of the lights on the control plane are flashing, just give it a quick kick. Objective, recover or transmit any science experiment data from Kerbin to achieve this goal. Okay, so if we use the mystery goo container, we can recover science, and that will then achieve the goal, and we will get 4,110, what is that, experience? What is that? Or is that money? Let's see, this is, yeah, that's money, okay. This is our, what you call it, reputation, and this would be, we'd get 1 science point. Remember, if we get 5, we can unlock a new tree in the technological tree. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do that one, and we'll do this. Launch our first vessel. Launch your first vessel off the launch pad or runway to achieve the goal. So we'll do those 2. We've already maxed that out, so we can't take any more contracts at the moment. Go back to the vehicle assembly building, and we'll build our first spaceship. It's not going to be too exciting. We'll start with this. This is the MK Mark 1 command pod. You can see, oops. You can see that, you can see its mass in tons, 0.84. Its crash tolerance, 14 meters per second. That's pretty substantial. I don't think I'd want to hit the Earth at that speed, but or Kerbin at that speed. Electric charge, so it's constantly draining electricity. I think if the engines are powered, it increases the charge or replenishes the charge. Monopropellant. We'll talk about that later. Let's see. Whoops. Just wanted to. No. Okay. All right. Reaction wheels. This is all new to me. Okay. Fuel tanks. We don't have fuel tanks. We have this solid fuel booster, and you can see it says engine cannot be shut down. So we burn this fuel, and once it's out, it runs out. But it cannot be shut down. We cannot control the force that it gives us. So we'll put one of these. Let's put one of these on here. You can see down here, this is our staging area, and we'll talk about that in a second. We want to put a parachute on that for sure. Okay, and science. I'm going to put 2 down here. We can click angle snap. That means you can see it snaps. If we don't do that, it's just anywhere, and it's not too accurate. So I'm going to go back to angle snap and then change this to symmetry to 2. So when we place it, you can see it puts 2 on the aircraft, and I want to put it right there. This is actually how the vehicle will look on the launch pad. It used to be this side, the front, or the side you see when you launch, would face in this direction. You'd see the front here, but they changed it. I'm not really sure why they did that, but I guess because the vehicle will start here and be brought all the way out to the launch pads way out there. I don't know. Maybe that's why. Okay, so we've got the 2 mystery goo containers. We've got our command pod. We've got the parachute and our fuel engine thingy. So down here, what we want to deploy first is the engine. or the fuel booster, whatever you want to call it. Second, in the staging, because when we press the space bar, the second thing that will deploy would be the parachute. So when it says 0, that's actually the last one that deploys once we hit the space bar. Once we build other spacecraft, this staging area can get quite large. It'll go all the way up the page, depending on how many staging options you have. So that'll change. And for our crew, we have Jebediah Kerbin as a pilot. They now have pilots, engineers, and scientists. I believe the engineers can repair things. Everyone can actually fly, even if they're not a pilot, but the pilots have the ability to, well, I'll show you. The scientist, I'm not really sure, I guess collects more science than normal, but we can only house one Kerbal, so Jeb's going to be the pilot for this one. I think we're ready to go. Let's see, this shows us how many parts. We can only have up to 30 parts right now. I guess later we can have more as we go through the game. And then our mass, we can only have up to 18 tons. So we're good there. Wow, they even have the height, width, and length. Wow. Okay. So this will show us if there's anything wrong. So right now it's just showing unused monopropellant resource, which I guess the command pod has monopropellant on it, but we're not actually using it because we don't have an engine or a thruster, rather, to be using that monopropellant, so it's just unused. So it's just giving us a heads up. And then our goals, if we click these notes, recovery, oh yeah, gather scientific data from Kerbin and launch our first vessel. Okay. So we're not going to save this because we're not going to save this the spacecraft because we're going to be just moving right along. So we're going to go ahead and launch. Okay, here we are on the launch pad. You can see our flag out there, and if I zoom in, you can see our little spacecraft. It's not too exciting. Here's Jeb. He's inside. If we click the IVA, internal view area, I guess that is, you can see the inside of the vehicle. Is he upside down? I don't know. It's kind of weird. There's the window up above us. You can see the sky through the viewport. Okay, so how do we go back? V, the V key. V as in Victor. Okay, and then EVA, we can EVA. Alright, so let's go ahead, and if I right click on him, we can do an EVA report, and we get some science for that. We recover 5.6 science. So we'll keep the data. We'll B for board, go back in, and then we will observe the mystery goo on this container. We get 3 science. It says the goo doesn't seem to be doing much right now, but we'll keep that. And then if we click up here, you can see our contracts. What's this? Oh, we get some money for performing an EVA test at home. That's cool. Can we? Yeah, okay. Alright, so we've already gained some money for that. And we gain 1 prestige point? What is it called again? Reputation. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get these ready so we can see how, we'll actually achieve them, and you'll see this turn to green, I think, once we achieve them. So first thing we have to do is launch, and then once we get to a certain altitude, as we're coming back down, I guess, is when I'll deploy the parachute and then do this other mystery goo. But for right now, I'm going to right click here and then do a crew report. You record the assessment, the crew's assessment of the situation. We got 1.5 science for that. You can pretty much do a science report wherever you want, but you can do them in the same place again, but you're not going to get enough as much science as you did previously. So you want to do them in areas you haven't been to yet. But right now, I just click the T key. You can see the SAS, stability something system. I forget what it stands for. Stability assist system? I think it's something like that. Basically what that does is when we're flying through the atmosphere, if I click this on like that, it will keep our vector in one location and it won't move. It won't deviate from that path. If I turn it off, then it has a tendency to do what it wants to do. But since Jeb is a pilot, I think this is how it works. Only pilots can use SAS. Engineers and scientists cannot. I think that's how it works. So they can fly it, even though they're not a pilot. They just can't use the SAS. So, all right, and I can push the throttle up and down, but it's not going to matter because this thing will go maximum speed, and we have no control over the speed on this particular unit. So I'm going to go ahead and press the space bar. We're launched. I'm going to head towards the water. You can see our solid fuel is depleting and it's almost there. Bam, it's already done. So I'm going to press the space bar here in a second. Let's go ahead and get that mystery goo on the other canister. The goo jiggles and wobbles as the aircraft flies, and we got 7 science. So we could transmit this if we had an antenna, but we would only get 30% of it sent back, and we would only retrieve that much. So you're better off bringing it back with you and not transmitting it. Just, you know, end the mission and you'll get the science. So we're going to go ahead and hit the... Hold on. I don't know why. Alright, press the space bar to deploy the parachute. Oh, keep the data. That's what I want. Jeez. Okay, so yeah, you see we've launched our first vessel. When this gets to, I think it's 500 meters, it's going to open up, or is it 1,000? It's 1,000. It's going to slow us right down. You can see our speed slowing down here. It's going to go right about 6, 7 meters per second. Okay. And I guess we'll get this goal once we finish the mission, I'm thinking. Recover or transmit. Yeah, we should get it once we finish the mission. So, we can speed up time by pressing the period key. It's going to notify or warn us that using this can affect the physics in the game. So you don't want to be deploying your parachute at 4 times speed, in other words. So just be careful with it. So you can see I can adjust the time warp settings. And we've touched down. So we can come up here and go to recover vessel. Yes. You know, I should have just collected a water sample. I should have done that. But you can see out of all that, we collected 31 science. We've recovered these parts. We didn't lose any parts, so we actually get funds back from that, which is good. And then our crew survived, and Jebediah has gained 1 experience point, which is awesome. Okay, so we can go into the science, I don't know what this is called, the science center, I think it is. And then see what we want to research. Let's see. So if we do this, we get the Science Junior Experiment Platform, or whatever you want to call it. We get the Communicatron, or Communitron, which is an antenna that we could use to transmit things back to Kerbin. And then the stack decoupler is very important, so I'll show you how that works. We'll research that. And then we could go up one more tier, but That's 18 science, and we unlock these 3. So I don't need that right away. I'm going to go ahead and research this. See, can we get anything? Yes, we can. We can get one more. Survivability. I think that's important because they have a heat shield. And then we get this service bay. Heat resistant service bay, ideal for protecting delicate instruments. We get these radio mount parachutes and landing struts. What's this? A radiator panel. That's new to me. To help dissipate heat into space. And then here we have nose cone, reduces drag on your rockets. Winglet, that'll help us maneuver as we're climbing into the atmosphere. And then a radial decoupler, it forces the as you jettison your fuel pods, this will eject them away from the aircraft, and they'll fall back down to the planet. Let's see, survivability. Yeah, I think I want that. Hold on, let's see. Yeah, I think I want that. Survivability. And then I think next we'll get general rocketry. So we have 6.1 left. Okay. We'll go back into this mission control and get another contract or 2. Let's see. Go for escaping the atmosphere. You have to get a vessel to an altitude of 70,000 meters. That's when you've reached space. 70,000 meters from Kerbin. It's different on every planet and moon, so let's go ahead and accept that. I'm gonna go ahead and end the, well, let's go ahead and get one more, and then I'm gonna end the video and we'll start another one. Let's see. Test this parachute. I want to do that? No. We'll do this. Do this one. We'll conduct a survey of Kerbin above 16,400 meters. Nah, I don't know. I don't know where that is. So you can see it says Gildia's oversight, Keaton's whim. Oh, we can do this one. Test a stack decoupler. We'll do that one.